pharma lagging fairly behind. There are a few front runners, as we have seen some of the case studies, which we wanted to bring up to the stage here, because that will really bring the perspective to the rest of the people who haven't yet used the digital medium. And we can see that they have all done exceedingly well in creating something really good for their customers. And so the next set of pharma marketers, who are the ones who actually need to use this medium specifically for taking their objectives ahead. The demographic forces, the economic forces, the natural forces, technological forces, political forces, and cultural forces. And I'm sure you all are literally living the era now. In the most dynamic emerging market like India, we have a double burden in the country with infection, certain infectious diseases still not being controlled, and we have lifestyle disorders coming into the focus. There is still fierce competition growing further. We have the rise of the e-patient, technology boom, shift to prevention, a changed marketing environment, MCI guidelines on the doctors, and whatnot. And here we are, pharma marketeers, just going around in the whirlwind, wondering what to do. In short, this current marketing scenario and challenges, as I had worked out, just shown to you, is that, in short, there's immense growth of chronic lifestyle, improved lifespan, fierce competition, limited new products, growing OTC products, and all this further bringing the attention of the companies to patient adherence, health outcomes for patients, reaching to newer markets, rural markets, etc. And therefore, the move to patient centricity, not just doctor, but move to patient centricity, being simply pushed messages from one single channel, one medical rep. As such, we are finding the quality of medical representatives going down immensely who can communicate messages. The customer does not want to be told, whether it is a consumer for non-pharma OTC products or it is a doctor. They don't want to be told something. They would rather look for solutions. And they look for solutions that are relevant, that they will get quickly, that are fast, and they would like to share their experiences. When this happens, when they would like to share their experiences also, which means that whatever they experience, good or bad, is going to affect you eventually if they are going to use your product and they will share it with others. Basic human nature remains the same. Well, that is true in a way. Here is another view which says, well, the realm of communication has changed so completely that old rules have lost relevance. And the debate is going on. But for us, something fundamentally has definitely changed. And if we do not wake up to this situation, then we definitely are going to be lost in the race. So let's see what has changed. I'm not going to go too much into details of this because much of it has been touched on. One thing to remember is the medium of expression and interaction has changed. The way people are expressing themselves has changed from what they used to before. Marketing, therefore, is getting more and more real-time, continuous, and personalized. And are we in this? Are we here? Is pharma really doing that? Absolutely not. It's nowhere near that yet. It's not possible through mass media. There can be a real-time interaction that one can have on this. It can give you better insights for better strategy and communication. It gives an excellent audio-visual integration, which is what Rahul was saying in the morning, and at a much lower cost than advertising on mass media or even reaching in whatever way through mass media. So in short, there is going to be an inevitable shift. There is already an inevitable shift in the way people are communicating with each other, because it's like the point of least resistance. Okay. This is what we are doing. Let's do it in a different way. That's all. So therefore, it is easy, and there's not much resistance in doing it, and that's why they do it. But that needs to be done in a much better way. You can't just have the same print media visual aids onto the tablets and think that it's going to work the same way. It won't. You need to have a little more responsive way in which these detailings are built, the way they are done, in a manner that there is more interaction, there is more feedback, and then if you can have better analytics through your closed loop marketing system, it will even be better. It can be made a little more interesting. I'm not going too much into detail because this is what most people are still doing. Research has already shown that, and access to the internet through these is growing. What kind of implications does it have for us when we are doing something? First and foremost, whatever you're doing, the basic things that pharma industry is doing today is websites, tablet detailing, and something, but those websites have to be optimized to mobile. Can you have calculations done on it to drive action? Can you have search on mobile for awareness and health purposes? Can you have community apps which will be helping creating support groups or even doctor connections? Can you have branded apps which will be useful for OTC and FMHG companies to drive sales? And so many more things, but eventually connecting back to your key objective of what you want to achieve. And then I come to social media in India. Lakhs and lakhs of rupees doing on-ground market research, right? And a whole lot of time is spent on that too. And by the time you get results out of it also, it's more than 6 months that have passed. Do a small social media listening on what you are intending to do, and you will get the basic insights that you need. Once you get the basic insights, you can build on those specific insights to have more in-depth information on ground. So this is one very simple and first thing that at least pharma industry can do. There's a whole lot of confusion in the minds of people who are not very savvy with digital, that what is this? Digital media can be broadly divided into bought media, owned media, and earned media. And bought media is typically the pay-per-click, display advertising, banners, etc., where e-marketing is done, and which we are going to have a complete session on that in the later half. This is restricted in the case of pharma, to non-branded activities, such as disease awareness for ethical and for advertising OTC, FMHG brands, etc. The owned media, which is your websites, your apps, etc., is basically the destination where your people who are searching for something will land on. And what is it that you want to convey to them should be said here. And earned media is basically word of mouth, user-generated content and reviews, which matters in terms of your reputation and what you want to escalate in whatever message that you want to escalate, you can use word of mouth for that. So coming back to this, saying that social media can generate lead indicators for you, and you need not wait for and depend on lag indicators like sales. And therefore, social media is important for pharma. One very important thing which I have not touched in detail, I'd like to just point out, is that content is extremely important in pharma. Whether it is your website, whether it is your social media, wherever what conversations are being done, what is being spoken, is it your written content, is it your audiovisual content, or whatever it is, content is extremely important. Credible content is the most important thing. You cannot have any wrong things being said, and especially if you are from an industry like pharma, this is your duty to give credible content to the. And finally, it is not about iPads, tablets, websites, or apps. It's about your strategy and the means to achieve your objectives correctly.